Hey there, friends. Real quick video. Some of you may not have heard by now, but Kyle Busch, two-time NASCAR champion, was arrested in Mexico back on January 27th based on bringing a loaded .380 pistol into his carry-on luggage. Now, it seems like he got to Mexico with the actual firearm, but he was trying to leave, apparently, and that's when he got caught in the Cancun airport of all places. Kyle says he was not aware that he couldn't go into the country with a firearm without permission or whatever. Look, most of us know you don't go into Mexico or any other country outside the United States for that matter, even with a bullet, let alone a loaded firearm. Oddly enough, Kyle was allowed to leave the country, which is extremely unusual. More than likely, it has something to do with who he is, how much money he has, and obviously his popularity, because you and I we'd still be in jail over there right now. As you guys know, military personnel have been called over there with less circumstances, and I think one of them might still be in prison over there in Mexico. But nevertheless, he made it back to North Carolina. He's in the country now. He was sentenced to $1,100 fine, which is total BS. I can promise you the man paid more than $1,100 to leave the country. There's no doubt in my mind. That's probably the only reason why he actually was able to leave the country, is because he paid people to allow him to leave, because he was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison in Mexico, and he's stateside now. My guess is he will never step foot in Mexico again. He will certainly not serve his time. He will certainly not go back over there to see his day in court either. He will be right here, the safety of this country. And what he should do is when he gets close to the border, just give them a big middle finger. Now, I'm not a hater of Kyle Busch, but I'm not a fan of his either, but I have mad respect for him. The guy is one heck of a driver, always has been. He's just never been my guy, so to speak, in NASCAR. But he's super, super talented. And I have to believe that Kyle knew better than this. He knew better than to go down there. He knew the reason why he was bringing that gun, because he needed the protection. We know what's happening in Mexico. They're even starting to hit some of these little vacation spots now. Some of these places like Cancun, Cozumel, and all that. Usually you would see those cartels and all the criminals would stay away from all these Americanized places that had all the touristy stuff going on, because that's a huge revenue stream for Mexico. But here recently, in the last several months, they've actually been attacking those people also. So they've given up on having that bubble of safety around those areas. And of course, Kyle certainly knew that. That's why he brought a gun down there for protection. He just has to remember that we're lucky enough to have a Second Amendment in this country. They don't have a Second Amendment, and they don't want you to have any guns. That's what cracks me up about the American border. We let them come in and we immediately let them take advantage of our Second Amendment, but yet you can't go down there and take advantage of any of the rights of a Mexican person. So anyway, I have to believe that Kyle knew better than this. Certainly, I wish Kyle would have practiced a little bit better acknowledgement of these rules, because that's one thing that I mentioned in the video the other day, that the anti-gun left is always waiting for the good guys to do something wrong so that they can prove to everybody else that we're irresponsible. And this was a bit irresponsible on Kyle's part. Again, I understand why he did it, but if you feel like it's that dangerous to go down there, don't break the law trying to go there, just don't go. There's plenty of places within the United States that you could have gone and vacation and had just as much fun and seen just as many sights. Maybe it's not as cheap, but you could bring a gun there. So next time, I would suggest Kyle Busch look at the reciprocity laws in other states and only visit pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment states. Carry his gun with him, be safe, be happy, and enjoy himself.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.